crawlers going down, and here's the key building, the spire. This is so intense for QXC right now. He needs to do a lot of damage with this attack, because when that spire comes out, QXC is almost completely defenseless. Looks like there is an armory going down, so that does mean that there will be some Thors coming up, but here's the first push advancing forward for QXC. DIMAGA doesn't have control of his wide ramp out front, and it's just these two spine crawlers that he's hoping will keep him alive, but look at the number of Hellions just burning all those Zerglings to death. There's almost nothing that DIMAGA can do to defend this attack, and that Spire is still not yet even close to finish. Very nice control. That Queen goes down. DIMAGA trying to make as many Roaches as possible, even though the Marauders are excellent against the Roaches. They're the only hope that DIMAGA has, just to have enough units to get in the way. Oh, huge hits going down on the drones. Tons go down in flames, more Zerglings popping out for DIMAGA, and here are the Roaches arriving to the rescue, and it looks like, wow, nice control by DIMAGA in the nick of time, eliminating all the rest of those Marauders. So DIMAGA having barely enough to stay alive, and here's the danger time for QXC. Does he have a Thor coming out? Unbelievably good timing popping out right now, very much so in the vein of Lucifron, who first popularized this Hellion Marauder into Thor style of play, but QXC doing his own touch on it, going for the double factory. Many players in the past would have favored just having that one factory lift up and move around, but QXC loves having those Hellions out, because this allows you to maintain aggression. You can keep attacking, you can keep threatening attacks on those drone lines, keep the harassment to the max, and DIMAGA, wow, really hurting on drones. And it looks like he's going to try to come down here. No anti-air out yet, just one Thor, and as long as he gets 5 or 6 Mutalisks, he can actually eliminate that Thor, assuming that there's no repair. Looks like he will be trying to target fire that one Mule. Oopsie days, he's losing one of those Mutalisks before he manages to escape. Thors, though they seem like the best possible unit to kill Mutalisks, given this setup that QXC has, he only has one factory making Thors right now. Mass Mutalisk from Zerg is not a bad play, because it will allow him to overwhelm the Thor, and then what will QXC have left? Nothing that can shoot up. So, but DIMAGA has to figure out some way to balance drones and units, so that way he can attack, harass, get himself in a better position, but still have the economic strength in the later stages of the game. More barracks coming down. Second Thor. QXC is just locked up tighter than a snare drum. Oh man, I spent all last night thinking of that one. And all these turrets are going to easily repel these Mutalisks. So it looks like a little bit of harass going on by DIMAGA, and DIMAGA, ooh, losing another Mutalisk. Big blunder. You can afford to lose one, maybe two, but once you start getting into the 3-4 loss range, I mean, just 3 Mutalisks is not nearly going to be enough to do the sufficient damage to pull you back into this game. QXC retaking that reactor. It's going to be pretty tough for DIMAGA to be able to deal with this with these 2 queens and really no unit count at this point. So it looks like QXC, who has attacked as many times as he has been allowed to this game, has to hold back, but when that next Thor push does come, it's going to be very, very threatening. So right now, DIMAGA doing the best he can to continue to expand, to try to get some sort of economic advantage back. DIMAGA still massing Mutalisks, knows that if he can get some kind of advantage against those Thors, take those out, that he'll be in good shape against the rest of this army. But QXC now replenishing with Marines. This is the real deadly part of this mix. Combat Shield almost finished, Stim finished as well. The Marines plus the Thors, way too tough to deal with. +1 already upgraded at the engineering bay. No +1 on the mech units. Bunch of Mutalisks moving around the backside. Whoopsie daisies. Bunch of Mutalisks moving around the backside, but huge push from QXC. He's being very careful, trying to go by these Xel'Naga watchtowers that will allow him to see if there are any units trying to flank, because when you have the immobility of the Thor, you have to be very careful. DIMAGA now trying to poke up, trying to take out these mules, does a good job of eliminating them, but still takes a lot of hits. Can't do that StarCraft 1 style micro. And here comes the big push from QXC. All the Thors are in the back. DIMAGA going to try to surround. Gets a good set of Mutalisks attacking that back one, but DIMAGA has to be very careful not to cluster those. Oh no, moves back and then forward to eliminate that Thor. And look at what that cluster did. Those last few shots just snapping off the necks of all those Mutalisks, taking them down. DIMAGA is forced to cancel that hatch plan, and QXC continuing to move aggressively. And look at this other force from the front moving in to reinforce this major attack from QXC. Here's the scan. He sees that, oh, there's a blue flame upgrade on the Hellions as well. Only Zerglings and now some Banelings coming out. Still going to be very hard to be able to hit those Thors. And here's the huge push from QXC. Stim on all the Marines. Hellions are rushing in there. Banelings not nearly done yet. Banelings almost done. He needs to get some huge hits off with these, but they're rallied in the wrong direction. The rest of the Mutalisks are getting cooked up, but look at QXC's insane macro, having way more units. And DIMAGA is in a horrible spot. He's trying to make Zerglings. He's continuing to add on larvae, but there's the good game. QXC manages to take it 1-0 at this point in time. So DIMAGA opening up with that aggressive style of play that seemed to get him in trouble in his series against Into the Rainbow, but we really get the chance to see what DIMAGA's follow-through is, how he has a stable transition into the later periods of the game, but QXC just relentless with his attacking and having crisp timing with that first Marauder Hellion push, and of course the Thor follow-up denied any Mutalisk harass from affecting his worker line. We will be back with Game 2 in just a moment with the first series of the Razor King of the Beta Day 5, but as usual, we will be taking a 30-second break because the caster's throat needs just a little bit of a hiatus. I will see you in 20 to 30 seconds with Game 2.